Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and welcome back to the 12 Cookies of Christmas. Today's cookie is a request from my friend Terri. Terri loves Mexican wedding cookies, so I thought I would throw them into the 12 Cookies of Christmas and show you how they're done. So if you're ready for this adventure, let's get started. What you're gonna need is 1 heaping cup of pecans, 1 1/4 cups of powdered sugar divided, 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 cup of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. All right, first thing we're gonna wanna do is get our nuts toasted if they aren't already. So here I have some chopped pecans, and I'm just gonna toast mine in the air fryer because that's what I have right now. So I'm gonna put them in the air fryer about 300 for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. All right, while those are toasting, we're gonna go ahead and mix together our flour, our salt, and our cinnamon. Just gonna mix with my little bowl. All right, once that's mixed together, we're gonna get our butter into our stand mixer. If you don't wanna use a stand mixer, you can use a hand mixer, but a stand mixer is just so much easier. Let's cream that butter. All right, looks like my butter wasn't completely at room temperature, so let's turn it up. Now we're gonna scrape it down. As we scrape it down, we're gonna add in just 1/2 cup of that powdered sugar. Reserve the other 3/4 cup for the rolling. Get yourself a handy dandy scraper and let's scrape down the sides of the bowl. We're gonna cream that together until it is light and fluffy. You see the stuff stuck to the bottom right there? We need to get that up. All right, now that I have butter absolutely everywhere, fluff that up. And once it's fluffy, go ahead and add your vanilla extract and your almond extract. We're gonna scrape down the bowl one more time. All right, let's call our nuts done. Now we're gonna let them cool for just a little bit. It's not gonna take very long. They didn't get like overly hot. And we're gonna let this beat for a little bit longer. Now I'm gonna pour these onto my tray here because we're gonna chop them up. We're gonna use an old school chopper to get these into a rough chop. The object is to get these small enough that you can't really tell they're nuts, but big enough to tell that they're not. Does that make sense? Probably not. All right, now slowly we're gonna add the flour on mixer on low. We're just gonna let that mix for a second. Okay, we're gonna scrape our bowl. Okay, as it starts to pull into a cookie dough, let's add our nuts. Okay, once it's mixed together, that's it. The cookie is just about done. So I'm gonna take my handy dandy scraper here. We're gonna scrape this beater, scrape down the sides, make sure everything is incorporated, that there's no dry ingredients left in this bowl. I have scraped down all of my sides, and now it's time to roll. So similarly to some of the other cookies we've done, we're just going to take, oh, I need my powdered sugar first. Make sure you have your powdered sugar nearby because we're gonna need that. All right, with your baking sheet lined with parchment, your powdered sugar, and your dough, we're gonna roll them into balls. Now, if your dough ends up being too wet and gooey, you can go ahead and throw those in the refrigerator for like 30 minutes until it's easy to handle. But otherwise, just roll them into balls, like so. Then roll them into your powdered sugar and then onto your baking sheet. And we're just gonna continue to do that with all of these. All right, now you'll notice that I am forming them, rolling them, and then putting them right on the baking sheet. Now that my baking sheet is full, like this is the last one, I'm gonna put this dough into the refrigerator while these cook. Do not coat them in powdered sugar until they are ready to go into the oven. All right, now these are gonna go into the oven, 350 for about 13 minutes. Okay, these wedding cookies have been out for 15 minutes and now it's time to give them their final roll in powdered sugar. Now, I wanted to show you, if you've been watching the 12 Cookies of Christmas, I kind of mentioned that I didn't like the way the air fryer was baking cookies. This is a perfect example. I decided to do these ones because I knew these ones would show you exactly what I'm talking about and the difference. So I'm gonna get my close camera and talk, and so you can see what the difference is between these two. So these ones were in the regular oven, and as you can see, they are all nicely colored, evenly colored. They're actually very perfect. So they're just barely browning and absolutely perfect. This was in the oven for 15 minutes. Then we go over here, and this cookie looks pretty much the same as the ones over there. But then check out this one and this one. So these are gonna be delicious to eat, but why do I have such uneven cooking? So I just don't like baking cookies in there. It's fine, but for aesthetic reasons, I like these ones better. So these have been cooling now for about 15 minutes. One other thing that I did incorrectly, and I'm so sorry, I rolled these in powdered sugar before they went into the oven. That was incorrect. We're supposed to roll them in powdered sugar after the oven. I got them confused. It is what it is. They didn't change them. You didn't have to do that part. And you need to do this while they're still warm, so they will adhere. The powdered sugar will adhere to it. Now, if you wanted to make these a little bit more festive for the season, you could put sprinkles, some green and red or green and white and red sprinkles over the top. That would be really nice. Otherwise, just cover them in powdered sugar and they will be devoured. They are a great cookie. All right. And there we have it, our Mexican wedding cookies. Now you could sprinkle them with a little bit more powdered sugar, but don't touch them until they're completely dry because they will fall apart still. So, but I'm gonna eat one before they're dry because that's the way I jam. Okay, let me just wash up. All right, and here we go. We are gonna eat a Mexican wedding cookie. Ready? I told you they break. They need to cool completely. They're so delicate. Let me see if I can cut into one so you can see the inside. And I will take one of the coolest ones. I just ate one of the really hot ones, and I will cut it in half and show you the inside. Oh my goodness, look at how delicious. Yum yum. So yeah, see how it's holding together a lot better now that it's cooler? That's why you're supposed to cool completely. But as some of you know, not very good at directions, but that's okay, because I'll just eat all the little pieces and I'll eat that one. And what I love about this cookie is that it's not super sweet. It's actually like almost like a savory because of those nuts, and there's not a lot of sugar in them. I mean, yes, there's a lot of powdered sugar in them, but that powdered sugar is a lot lighter on your palate. It's just fantastic. So yeah. All right, you guys. Well, if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I'm doing videos whenever I can right now, but in the meantime, I'm gonna finish out this 12 days of cookies, and it's gonna be great. So I hope you'll tune in for the final cookies of the season. Which two are they gonna be? You'll find out very soon, tomorrow, and the next day, and yeah. All right, you guys, we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye. Those cookies are so good.